Welcome, everybody, to the SEO Mad Scientist podcast. I'm your host today, Mike, joined by Alex, Sophie, and Lasha. Yeah, got some new faces. Exciting times to be alive. Happy to have everyone here. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Doing
Thanks for
good?
having us.
Doing good.
Yeah, Buzz.
Always. So today we are going to be reviewing previous test results, talking about some upcoming tests, maybe coming up with some new test ideas, and more importantly, theorizing why we're seeing some of the things we're seeing in the SERPs and on our tests. So with that, we can could jump right into it, get to the good testing updates, right? I guess everyone's excited. No.
Well,
Yay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess I'll start this off with what was it, 3 weeks ago, I think, Sophie, when we published the YouTube update for that test Mark was running with the YouTube videos. I think it was like 3 weeks ago or so at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean it was within the past month. Anyone can go back. I guess like actually let's start with that, Sophie. When's the testing library gonna be live? So we can start sending people there
It will
if they
be
want
live
to.
once this episode is published.
Beautiful. Okay, so the testing library should be live. You should be able to go back and look for, I'm assuming that is labeled as a YouTube test, probably published recently. So you should be able to find it there.
Yeah.
And
They can also search, so if they type YouTube or
that's
local.
right. So yeah, so you can go look up more details. Long story short, Mark built YouTube videos with NAP backlinks to Google Earth links, driving directions to and from the business, the CID URL, and some relevant optimized content. Published all these videos, interlinked them, created a playlist, all that fancy SEO stuff, and we did see movement in the local geogrids. But it looks like over the past week or so, there was some update. We lost a lot of rankings or nodes where we were showing a little more sporadically. I was not showing anymore. And then as we zoom in, we've actually noticed that we're still ranking on a more localized area, but there was a slight decline in rankings. So definitely something going on in local. I'd say since the beginning of the year, we've been seeing these local updates really kind of taking effect personally. I think it was at the beginning of the year we had the first major rollout, or at least we saw internally that a lot of campaigns where, especially where I think it was ranking like really far out, they're a lot more localized now. I'm not sure if anyone else is seeing anything similar or not, or has any ideas as to why Google's doing these changes.
In the YouTube test, were both grids dropping a lot? You sent one where they didn't have as many drops. Was that the close one or the further one?
The close one, yeah. So the one where it was like really zoomed out, we would have like these nodes popping up kind of all over. It was a little more sporadic, and we were getting visibility more spread out. And now it looks like all of that kind of went away, and now we're just very localized.
But was it still ranking around where it was verified?
Um, where it was previously ranking, which we believe, honestly, I don't think I have the exact location. It was verified. It was probably an empty lot somewhere. But where we are localized, yeah, it's still ranking and showing with pretty solid geogrids. It's once you zoom out, it's like they're definitely more localized. I would say even since the beginning of this year, in just some other tests and just GMB rankings, I've noticed a lot more uh, localization. Like I would say it's even harder now to get into like major cities if you're on the outskirts of a city. Um, Definitely harder to get more. Um, just in generally more populated areas where the map would be more zoomed in. I'm seeing a lot more either zoomed in maps when it's like a very populated area or very much zoomed out. It's more, at least personally, I don't know if anyone else is seeing anything similar, or if anyone is, did anyone sit here and Google like I do? Just sit here and Google keywords and
I don't just sit
see.
in Google, but I do notice ours are more zoomed out in Tampa.
In Tampa, really? Hmm. And Tampa's not a small little area.
It does depend on what you search, though.
Yeah. And I also, I guess, like if you're looking for like a roofing company, is that pretty zoomed out?
I don't look at roofing.
You know, look at roofing. I'm just wondering if maybe like there's a difference between like SABs, which honestly I haven't looked into it. I think the listing that we were testing on was in a service area business. And that's one thing I'm leaning more into now is testing service area versus non-service area. Because we're seeing, well, I'm personally seeing some, I shouldn't say differences, um, but there might be, right?
Okay,
There might
roofing
be,
companies, just searching roofing companies is very zoomed in.
it is, okay. So I'm betting a lot of those maps are probably zoomed in for the kind of general home service, even if you search for like a doctor or barber.
I would support your theory.
It does sound like. Where are you located at, Alex?
Wyoming,
Wyoming, like in a, I have no idea where Wyoming is.
middle of the country.
I
It's
mean, I'm
near.
in Nebraska, which is also the middle of the country.
Yeah,
And
we have less
what
corn,
day was it?
but we got more bison.
It's northwest of you, Mike.
Yeah,
Northwest.
we're like 2 hours away from each other.
Are you in a big city? Is
I
it a
mean,
big city?
man,
Oh, okay. If it's the capital, I don't know how big it is, but try
it's
Googling roofers. See
city
how
and
zoomed in that map is.
yeah.
Like how long would it take to drive to that edge of the map? I'm curious. I don't know if you're seeing anything either, Latcha, when it comes to local. I know Latcha mostly works in organic, although you used to lead the local, and you're definitely
Yeah,
well
but
versed in all
I'm very
things.
close to local too. That's why I can add something to your conversation, guys. So first of all, about the links to the GPB, I saw previously tons of different cases when, uh, firstly, you boost your rankings on the maps by like in a month or two, they immediately drop, and it was like that always. But those were really old cases. That's why better to test everything again, and I would like to do it. It will be really interesting about this thing with locality and so on. Uh, I saw different cases again just recently. Like if you if you, for example, if you will check two small cities close to each other, and for example, you have a business, I don't know, medical clinic or something like that, and you are in the city A and you are super close to city B, like 500 meters or something like that, Google won't show you in the city B. This is for sure, because in the city B, as well as in the city A, there will be tons of different medical clinics. The same with dentists, barbers, and so on. But for example, if you are roofer in the city A, there is a big chance that you will be shown in the city B. But again, the only chance to get in the city B from the CTA is a strong on page and strong organic rankings. This is what I noticed recently.
There's definitely been a strong correlation in the website itself and rankings. I've been seeing that even in my tests where I'm questioning whether we're seeing results on the test because of something we did, or if it's actually from inner pages of the website that it could be kind of extrapolating some of these more obscure words and stuff from. So there's definitely a lot there, which we even saw with the blogging test that you did too. Just all of the relevant content, but I am thinking, like for roofers and stuff, I'm seeing even more just zoomed in. Like it's probably even harder now, I would bet, to get into that like city B. Like if you're in city A and you're searching roofers, I find it's more zoomed in now. than zoomed out. Like it used to be, maybe you get some people within like 20, 30 minutes away, and now it's maybe not as much. But again,
Mhm.
it's all just loose observation. I like what you said about the GMB links though, because that is something we're testing a lot of. And one of the things that I've been wanting to test more of is just leveraging different kinds of links. Because like we generally people just use the CID, but you can zoom in the map, zoom out. Like every single version of map you can pull up of a listing is a different link. Plus, there's all types of 301s, 302s. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think for the most part, we've just used the CID and then we do driving directions and things like that, right?
Yep.
Seen the initial boost. That's definitely, and you said what it'd probably be like a month or so, like shortly after you stop building those links, there'd kind of be a decline.
You can like build links like every month, I guess, because I don't think it will work. But anyway, even if you will continue building those links, you will drop. I don't think you will be like boosting all the time. This is what I saw previously.
Hmm.
For example, if to take, I don't know, different kind of backlinks, right? PBNs, Google News links, and something else, and try to test how they will work with a CID URL. This is something really interesting. This is something we can test actually, because all those cases when people share them about those links, GPB links, they are like 2 years old, 3 years old, and a lot of things change. So would be nice to try.
Our recent GMB map embed test, we're actually rerunning another one now. And I did have a map embed direct link to the CID with relevant anchor text, and then we also had the relevant keywords in the title of the embed as well. And we definitely saw, I mean, a listing went from no rankings to ranking very well for a lot of keywords. We did 50 map embeds with tiered links, uh, like within a week or two. So it was really aggressive. So
Mhm.
we're kind of testing that now, like what you said last show. If we did more, we build more. If we keep doing more, is it just gonna like plateau and then maybe even come back, or does it just keep going up forever, like back in the good old days when you could just
That's awesome.
spam
Yeah.
backlinks and rank organically. But yeah, it's definitely something that we're working on testing now. Um, and like you said too, I have seen a little bit of that. Not a, it's a slight pullback, kind of like what I mean. We saw similar things with CTR, right? We ran some CTR tests. When we stopped running CTR, those rankings don't stay exactly the same, right?
Yeah, yeah. When you stop sending clicks to the GPB, you will see drops, or you will see that you're not ranking as previously. So yeah.
I wonder if it's like an engagement thing, like building a link to the map or just loading the map from
No,
different IPs and things, like the click
no, no,
through,
no,
like
no.
you said.
You load in the map. You don't use map URL or any other CID URLs and so on. You
Well,
load.
no, but I'm just saying you're engaging with that map.
Yeah,
And just like if you build a link to the map, Google Bot is going through that link and loading the map. Just like if you have someone click on the map or whatever, like it goes to the map and loads it. Like I'm wondering if there's because if you stop building links, if rankings go up when you build links and you stop building links, then they pull back. Or you do CTR and then stop doing CTR and they pull back. There's just
yeah,
kind of a weird similarity there. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. In some CTR tests, it was like they pulled back after you stop testing it. But some of them stay like just where they were. That's all.
And I wonder too, like the ones that stayed, I'm assuming those were those like long tail keywords or
Yes.
were those, okay,
Yeah.
they were.
Not like long tail, but uh, they were. We were working on them much longer than others. That's why
Gotcha.
we said there.
Were they like roofing city? though, or were they like more like residential roofing services city or something
No,
like
no,
that?
no, 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 no. It was like roofer, like Richmond, something like that, or for example,
Gotcha.
yeah, something like this.
I'm wondering if they're getting engagement through the SERPs after you stop the CTR, and that's why some of those have stayed. If that if the CTR was the because essentially if you're not getting clicks and Google's not putting you in the SERPs to split test it, and then you do CTR and you get in the SERPs, and then people are clicking and engaging with the listing. I wonder if that. Well, I mean, Google says they don't use CTR, right? For
Uh,
rankings.
Sorry, not sure what you're talking about, but I had something really interesting. uh, we had a profile. It was just test profile, so with zero engagement, of course, and we did some CTR tests with it, and of course, one link today, two clicks tomorrow, three clicks the day after, and so on, and it wasn't boosting at all. There wasn't any rankings, and it was for a month, I guess, or something like that. After I stopped with that GPP, it was suspended immediately. That's what happened. And Google and product experts told me they won't reinstate this profile ever. Just forget about it.
How have GVPs? I haven't seen too many GVP suspensions recently, to be honest. Has
uh,
anyone else heard any sweeps like that or anything?
okay, in the end of 2023, there were a lot.
Yeah,
A lot. Right now, no, I can't tell you that I see
I'm seeing
it.
more updates and yeah, I'm seeing more fluctuations in the SERPs. I don't know, Alex or Sophie, if you're hearing any chatter. Usually everyone's talking when GMBs are getting hit.
I feel like if it
SABs,
happens, you can see it all over Facebook. Everyone complains.
SABs right now are the big thing getting hit. A lot of like ranking ranks and lead gens.
I
Or,
cannot get them. I cannot get them verified for the life of me. That's for sure. Like I've
What?
tried putting up some listings myself, even at my house. It's
At
just
your
instant
house?
suspended. Yeah, even
Maybe
trying my
what happened
neighbors.
to your addresses.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried my neighbors. I've tried to go. I've tried to go to the like business addresses.
Oh.
Even have like mail sent to the library for me, like it's my office. It's just it doesn't work.
Wasn't it working for you to drive to a business and verify it there a couple months ago when you were doing it?
I used to be able to go to a location and go on my phone and turn on the location service and use the Gmail that was attached to my phone number. And when I would create that listing, it would instant verify or phone call verify for me. Like it was doing it like every time. And it was in one of I think we published like a test update on it. There seemed to be some correlation in like geo coordinates and verification and things like that. But I mean, I am willing to bet they crack down on that quite a bit too, which is
Last
good. Hopefully, what?
last month I did a test where I spoofed the location, and then um, with a Google Guide account, I got instant verification for like 5 different listings same day.
Man, is that like a level 10 thing? Like, what is? I mean, would you say what kind of is that the guide account? They have like levels, right? I
That's
haven't
for
seen
Yeah,
that
there's
many.
levels.
reviews,
I think
isn't
I was
it?
3 and above on the different guide account.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I never got it. I remember buying some guide accounts back in the day to like play
They're so
around with.
easy to make.
They're easy to make. I thought the hard part was like getting them like level 10 guide accounts. Like that was the thing. You wanted like the
All
highest
you need is
level
scrape
guide
box,
account.
and you can get level 10. That's easy.
Can't you just leave a bunch of reviews?
So there's a bunch of different things that you have to do, and it's more weighted now. You can't have just one thing, but the easiest way with Scrapebox is you just go scrape all the images off of a site, and then you upload those to their GMB, um, and you get a mass amount of photo uploads, and all of those get engagement, which give you points. So, and then you do some other stuff like comments, and you can do all that with GSA, reviews, etc., and call it a day. So it's really easy to build them.
How long does it take for those to get enough points or whatever to become?
I can do it. I can get it up to level 10 in a day.
So you're
Yeah.
saying you make a brand new account and then upload all the photos and it just skyrockets to 10? Like you just, that's all you need to do?
Yeah,
One
because it just
day? There's
matters.
no time or
There's no
anything?
time frame related to level 10. It strictly has to do with engagement.
Jeez, that just seems too easy to have a benefit to making fake listings. That's insane. If you can make a brand new account and be a level 10 account in 24 hours, that seems like a bad metric. If I was gonna pick one. Anyways, it would make some good tests though. We should I should get with you and see about making some of those accounts. And I wonder if even like building references to other businesses and doing things with them, engaging with the business does anything at all. Either.
Well, that's why I spoof location when I do reviews and stuff, so that way there's a check-in associated.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. Have you ever done any or like tracking of like is it like have you have GeoGrids tracking when you're like leaving a review or engaging with the listing? Have you seen any positive movement from just using those accounts to do things? Have you tested it at all?
From a ranking perspective, no, it just has to do with the
Hmm.
verification of the listing.
Some more good test ideas. What other tests we got running at the moment? Our custom signals test, the installation one, I think we mentioned that before. We're still seeing a lot of movement there, which that was what we built 6 months custom signals in
I don't
like,
know if you actually reported that
I don't think I reported it yet, at least the
because you
update.
were
We
still
reported the
waiting to look
initial
at.
test.
Yeah, you were looking at the progression. When did
So
it?
yeah, we should have an update coming out for that soon. Um,
That was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It started.
yeah. Yeah, and I think we did some other stuff. We ordered data aggregators and things like that we go over. I go over in the update.
Those
But it wasn't.
initial increases that I dropped though were before all that happened.
Yeah, the geogrids and things that we referenced are the last geogrid snapshot was the day before we did the aggregators or anything else. So it definitely was just, I mean, well, I guess we can't say definitively, but I think custom signals is all we have besides the website, right? There wasn't anything else done to that listing. So we can pretty much safely say that these ranking increases are from those things. And we haven't done anything to the website. So even our correlation, and this is one of the tests I was talking about before, where it's interesting to see some of the keywords that it's ranking for because they're referenced very loosely on some inner parts of the site. But most of the rankings that we see, there's many that are keyword targeted that are only referenced on the custom signal listings. Like we didn't reference them directly on the website. They're just in the descriptions or talking about the listing on these custom signals listing, which also leads me to believe that almost like you need content on a listing, whether it's structured or unstructured. Having like just a name and a backlink with no name, address, phone number, no company description, no links to websites, and like and with just a link to your website and like a brand account or whatever, even like a blank social media account, completely worthless unless you're putting some type of relevant, localized or niche relevant content. At least that's the correlation I'm seeing from the custom sales properties that seem to be moving the needle, I guess you'd say.
One of the things that I have been seeing is there's a website that I'm actively working on right now that has 0 location, 0 service pages. And they're getting local relevance and ranking for local keywords strictly off of anchor text and relevancy from the backlinks
To the website?
to the website. Yeah. Or for their GMB. That's what they're ranking locally with the GMB
Are
based
they
strictly on.
linking to the GMB or the website, though? You're talking about backlinks to the website that correlate with the GMB rankings?
Correct.
Interesting. I'm definitely thinking there's going to be more emphasis on that website.
Yeah. And
At
that's
least that's what it
that's
seems.
something that you normally wouldn't see previously. And so that was really interesting to evaluate that.
Well, Google is getting rid of the GBP site. Well, actually, it's gone now, right? That was gone, I think, on the 5th of this month, something like that. Which those things were pretty stupid. I mean, from a user standpoint, like they really didn't provide any value to the world. I felt always, um, at least not the way they were. You know what I mean? It was just like a weak landing page for your business. So maybe that website is now getting more, you know, more weight to it. You could say.
Yeah, I think the website's way, way more important for local than it ever was for previously.
It
I mean,
seems like the
we were looking at my agency listing I made forever ago, and I hadn't done anything to it, and it was ranking way better. I mean, I do have a website, but I've never done anything with the listing just because I don't really need it.
just looking last week, Sophie, I think was that did we publish the update or the test for the niche geo and brand networks, the mini networks? You remember if that was last week's?
No, you talked about it on the podcast last week, which
Oh,
is probably what you're thinking about, but we
so
didn't
it's
publish
okay.
it in the weekend update.
Okay, so we have that one to actually publish, which I'm actually looking now, and I'm seeing even more ranking increases, keywords showing that just didn't even show at all. Water softener, like just the term water softener, we're number 2 and number 4 in some of these nodes. Water softener, Knoxville.
When did you start that one?
This one started. Oh, nope, that's not the update. Let me go here. Okay. 28 days ago, and then it was completed on the 25th of last month. So we built 10 properties, geo, niche, and brand network. So there's 30 properties in total built, and there's like 3 brands, which we'll go over the details in the update. But essentially, we built these geo networks. That's all we did: mini networks and brand network. And it's been about 2.5 weeks since they've been built, and yeah, we're definitely movement. I mean, keywords that weren't ranking all the way till March 4th are now showing, node showing. Um, there's ones that were ranking in the beginning that clearly have seen an increase since the 25th, 29th, after everything was finished being built. So we'll definitely have to go over that. Those are Web 2. Essentially, those have links to the website, map embed, relevant content, a lot of the same things we were just talking about on, the other test.
So that would validate the importance of the website as well.
Yeah, literally the properties outside of, and one of them is a brand network too, which specifically references it's for like the brand, so it's like the brand's WordPress. Um, we'll probably dig down and do some more, I guess, more single variable tests. For example, I'm wondering if a niche network even makes sense in local, or if we should just do the geo networks, because the geo network's going to be niche relevant anyways, right? And then a brand network, you generally only build one. Like you're not going to build 5 WordPress sites for your company. Although maybe you should. I guess we should test it, right?
I have a
It's
question,
hard to
Mike.
say, but
So they were built
it doesn't
those
seem
mini
like that would
nets
be
like 2 weeks
beneficial.
ago, right? Or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They were
Okay.
finished being built
And
like
all
two
those
weeks ago,
properties
but
were indexed.
yeah, all 3 of them. So they were probably being built.
I mean, yep,
Um,
yep, exactly.
all of
Oh,
those
okay, this
properties.
is
You mean
nice.
the mini networks
Pretty
that were
fast.
built are indexed? Yes. Yeah, yeah. And some of them,
Mhm.
the inner pages aren't, but like I think in general, when I was checking, I checked just the home page, like the main listing page, and those were indexed. I don't think I ordered tiered. I didn't order tiered links on this either. I was actually going to wait a little bit,
Mhm.
see what type of movement we had, and then order tiered links for the mini nets. I should go and check an exact. I wonder. I should get a list of all the pages and see what type of index. That's actually something really important. Thanks a lot who brought that up.
Yeah,
We should try and get a tracker on links and things like that to see when they're indexed, specifically when they correlate with
I did some
ranking
tests,
increases. It's
like
something I
brand
used to
new
do
website,
a little more of.
but I waited while Google will index all pages. There were like 15 or 16 pages. After that, I created a like huge blog post and submitted in the Google Search Console for the indexation. Uh, Google was indexing that page for a few weeks, I believe, like part by part. It wasn't like the whole page, the whole content on that page got into the index in a week or something like that. No. Uh, yeah, you can check it like searching with those quotes in Google, like Google operators, like when
Hmm.
you copy the part of the content and check it with quotes in the Google. When I was checking, for example, something like call to actions, they were indexed almost immediately. When I was checking something from the like bottom of the page or something like that, they were not in index because I didn't found my website with that content. And uh, and like it was around 2 weeks, maybe like
Hmm.
12, 13 days. And this was something not good for me because only one page and 2 weeks.
That's interesting. So it was like the passage ranking kind of like it was like I mean we know how Google parses data and it kind of chunks it out and but you're saying like you
You
can kind of see that on
yes,
these bigger
actually, even our
pages
website,
where it
Web20
was kind of
website, I'm always checking
indexing
manually, like what
chunks
was
of
indexed, what
data.
wasn't indexed. And for example, when I do uh, today, I did, for example, like 3 content updates on the same page. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I will find in index only one of it, and another 2 maybe later.
We've actually had some interesting updates on the Web20 website that we've seen some interesting movement and change things going. Like it's me and Lasha probably had a whole hour-long back and forth argument about menus and keywords in the menu on a website. Because we removed some terms from our menu that said white label, and then Lasha did some things, and we've seen some movement that correlates to what we did. And honestly, though,
Oh,
what was the last thing I think you were talking about? You
yeah,
said
but it's
implementing the
not the last
semantic
thing as of
triples,
now.
and you did
After
add some
that,
parental
control.
optimization to the page. There was the so I know when we were discussing the ranking change, so there was
Uh,
definitely a ranking increase from that optimization. Like that page is definitely like from the day you, because I went to Search Console and checked when that page was recrawled, and literally from the day it was
like,
recrawled, moving
so
forward,
I
you could see
believe
those rankings
it's
going
because
up
of those
for the
semantic
white label
triples,
terms.
because they work nice. They were really looking nice. That's why I believe it's because of them. Other than that, I just removed a bit of content. It looked very old. That's why I decided just to remove it. Few pics update, like I changed few pictures there, and yeah, and triples, and that's all. So I guess they work perfectly. I am testing them at the moment on another website, but I just implemented them like a few days ago. That's why I can't tell you anything. But I'm like almost sure they will work.
It definitely, I mean, it makes sense, especially when you look at those. It's like, oh yeah, if you were talking about these things, like I remember back when I used to do on page in the very beginning, and we used to talk a lot about like related terms and
Yeah.
LSI terms. That's more like related like that's related topics, not just the words, but like what they should actually be saying and talking about if this was going to be relevant. So yeah, I was digging through that more and more, and I'm running some on-page tests now. I think I mentioned in one of the groups that we're in, or maybe I was just talking to Mark and Nate. And maybe if anyone else wants to chime in, we're running to the end here. But an interesting concept I was playing with was cannibalizing pages on a site on purpose, because I mean, I think everyone here has seen keyword cannibalization on a site. But if we were to actually take, say, two or three pages and optimize them for the same term, but use completely different on-page optimization strategies, and we publish them all at once, then Google should tell us which one performs better for our keyword. And I think that would probably be the most definitive way to test on page is probably on the same site. Because even when I'm thinking about using brand new sites, like there's so many random variables that can get thrown in there. And if you have two established sites that are different, there's even more variables that take away from there. So I'm thinking about starting some on-page tests, and we're gonna purposely cannibalize them to let Google tell us what's working better or not. I don't know if anyone sees any issues with that concept. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I've seen like six or seven blog posts all competing for the same keyword as a service page. It can get bad, and that's I think where if we could do that on purpose and kind of figure out, okay, let's optimize this one as a blog post and put a process behind how that's being structured. I know another test that I'm working on now, which I need to kind of structure more of an SOP, but we're kind of theorizing the impact of content optimization, not basing it on competitive parity, but on actual, the topics, and using essentially just a intellectual system of compiling and delivering that data that makes sense for whatever that is. Meaning not trying to, we not even care about, oh, how many times this term is referenced. We're going to care about what questions people would be asking when searching that topic. What questions would they have already known the answers to when searching that topic, and then kind of everything around that versus, just going and doing the standard competitive parity stuff. Just trying to see another. I guess we should probably call it quits. It's getting pretty late, huh? Yeah, 40 minutes. Look at that.
That's a long one.
It's a
Time
long
flies.
one. We went through quite a few tests, actually. I mean, we got more running. We'll do some formal updates on the email and on the site. As we said, the testing library should be live, I think, at this point. Yeah,
It
so
will
that's
be. It will be. It will be.
it
Make
will
sure.
be. We are gonna make sure of it. There's no world where it is not live at the point that you are
Correct.
watching this. So yeah, go for it. Hmm, interesting. Um, Anyone watching, if you have any experience with the Google API indexation, let us know what you're seeing. I just added that to our test. I'll follow up with you, Lasha. We'll definitely dig into that more. Indexation is it's well,
It's also been de-indexed. JohnMew.com.
John
Yeah,
Mueller's been de-indexed, canceled by Google. That is
yeah, that's
amazing.
update.
So do you really want to take SEO advice from a guy whose website gets de-indexed? That's the question I have for you people. Alrighty, I guess we can wrap it up and call it. I think this is the third official SEO Mad Scientist podcast episode, right, Sophie?
Mhm.
Number three,
No,
going strong.
I think it's 4. We
Oh,
did 3.
four,
Yeah.
even stronger than. Okay,
It's
well.
4.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the SEO Mad Scientist podcast. I am Mike. Thanks, everybody, Alex, Lasha, Sophie, for joining me. We will
Bye.
be back next week with more updates. Again, download us, take us in your pocket. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, all that great stuff. Like, subscribe. And until next week, we will see you then. Happy testing. Bye. Bye-bye.